sure that a test or assessment measures the content and thinking skills that the test intends to measure. Each steps will be discussed by my group mates, and they will also provide example. At the end of this video, you will know how to construct your own TOS. Okay, let's start.
Step 1. Determine the coverage of your exam. You should make sure the coverage of your exam is something that you have satisfactorily taught in class. Select the topics that you wish to test in the exam. Don't create a test that is too long and will not be realistic for your students in the given time, and select only the most important topics. Example lesson: linear equation and inequalities. You can't put an entry about statistics or permutations in the exam due to the fact that this doesn't belong to the target lesson.
Step 2. Determine your testing objectives for each topic area. An example of table of a specification template. This step, you will need to be familiar with Bloom's taxonomy of thinking skills. Bloom has identified the hierarchy of learning objectives, from the lower thinking skills of knowledge and comprehension to the higher thinking skills of evaluation and synthesis. So Bloom's taxonomy has 6 categories, starting from lower level to highest, or the remembering, understanding, application, analyzing, evaluation, and creating. So for each content area that you wish to test, you will have to determine how you will test each area. Will you test simply their recall of knowledge, or will you be testing their comprehension of the matter? Or perhaps you will be challenging them to analyze and compare and contrast something. Your objectives per topic area should use very specific verbs on how you intend to test the students using the Bloom's taxonomy. So here's an example of learning competencies which uses very specific verbs to test the students using the Bloom's taxonomy. Identify mathematical expressions, mathematical equations, and inequalities. Illustrate linear inequalities in 2 variables. Explain the key concepts of linear inequalities in 2 variables. Graph linear inequalities in 2 variables in the coordinate plane. Solve real-life problems involving linear inequalities in 2 variables. Compare and contrast linear equations from linear inequalities. Examine whether an ordered pair is a solution to the given inequality in 2 variables. Formulate real-life problems involving linear inequalities and solve this with utmost accuracy using a variety of strategies.
Step 3. Determine the duration for each content area. The next step in making the table of specifications is to write down how long you spend teaching a particular topic. This is important because it will determine how many points you should devote for each topic. Logically, the longer time you spend on teaching a material, then the more questions should be devoted for that area.
Step 4. Determine the test types for each objective. Now that you have created your table of specifications for your test by aligning your objectives to Bloom's taxonomy, it's time to determine the test types that will accomplish your testing objectives. For example, knowledge question can be accomplished easily through multiple choice questions or matching type exams. If you want to test evaluation or synthesis of a topic, you will want to create exam type questions, or perhaps you will ask the students to create diagrams and explain their diagrams in their analysis. The important thing is that the test type should reflect your testing objective.
Step 5. Polish your terms of specification. After your initial draft of the table of specifications, it's time to polish it. Make sure that you have covered in your terms of specification the important topics that you wish to test. The number of items for your test should be sufficient for the time allotted for the test. You should seek your academic coordinator and have them comment on your table of specification. They will be able to give good feedback on how you can improve or modify it. After their approval, it's time to put into action your blueprint by creating your exam. It would be best to use a spreadsheet like Microsoft Excel so you can easily modify your terms of specification in case you have some corrections.
We have here an example of a constructed table of specification. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have learned something.